Hey there, welcome to today's video where we're going to delve deep into the Russia-Ukraine conflict. From its historical origins to the current situation on the ground, we'll be examining this complex geopolitical crisis from all angles, including Russia's and Ukraine's perspectives. Chapter 1, Overview of the conflict. Let's start by understanding the conflict itself. The Russia-Ukraine conflict can be traced back to the Euromaidan protests in 2013, which led to the ousting of Ukraine's pro-Russian president. This sparked tensions between Ukraine's pro-European factions and those with closer ties to Russia. Subsequently, Russia annexed Crimea in 2014, claiming it as historically Russian territory. This move was met with international condemnation and sanctions. The conflict then escalated into a full-blown war in eastern Ukraine, where pro-Russian separatists clashed with Ukrainian forces. Chapter 2, Historical Context. To truly understand the Russia-Ukraine conflict, we need to examine its historical roots. From the dissolution of the Soviet Union to the intricate ties between Russia and Ukraine, we'll explore the events that have shaped the current geopolitical landscape. Chapter 3, Russia's Perspective. It's important to consider Russia's perspective in this conflict. Russia views Ukraine as a historically and culturally intertwined neighbor, and it sees its actions as safeguarding the rights of ethnic Russians and protecting its strategic interests in the region. Additionally, Russia perceives NATO expansion into Eastern Europe as a threat to its security. Chapter 4, Ukraine's Perspective. Now let's explore Ukraine's perspective. Ukraine sees itself as a sovereign nation with the right to determine its own future. It views Russia's actions, including the annexation of Crimea and support for separatist movements, as a violation of its territorial integrity and sovereignty. Ukraine seeks closer ties with the West and views NATO membership as a means of ensuring its security. Chapter 5, Key Players. Beyond Russia and Ukraine, other key players include NATO, the European Union, and the United States. Each entity has its own interests and agendas, further complicating the resolution of the conflict. Chapter 6, Annexation of Crimea. Russia's annexation of Crimea in 2014 was a pivotal moment in the conflict. We'll explore the events leading up to it and the international ramifications that followed. Chapter 7, Eastern Ukraine Conflict. The conflict in eastern Ukraine, fueled by pro-Russian separatist movements, has resulted in a prolonged and devastating war. We'll examine the origins of this conflict and its impact on the region. Chapter 8, International Response. The international community has responded to the conflict with a mix of diplomacy, sanctions, and military support for Ukraine. However, finding a consensus on how to address the situation has been challenging. Chapter 9, Humanitarian Crisis. The conflict has also led to a humanitarian crisis, with millions of people displaced and in need of assistance. Civilians bear the brunt of the violence, facing displacement, loss of livelihoods, and limited access to basic necessities. Chapter 10, Currency. As of April 9, 2024, the conflict continues with sporadic violence and diplomatic efforts. However, a resolution remains elusive and the region remains tense. Chapter 11, Potential Resolutions. Despite the challenges, diplomatic negotiations, peace talks, and international mediation offer hope for a peaceful resolution to the conflict. It will require continued engagement and cooperation from all parties involved. The Russia-Ukraine conflict is a multifaceted issue with deep historical roots and complex geopolitical dynamics. By understanding the perspectives of all parties involved, we can work towards a peaceful resolution that respects the rights and interests of all stakeholders. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content. Until next time, stay informed and